Well, hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're surviving this crazy world, right? Um, Earlier today, I posted a quote, and this is what it said. You'll see it below if you haven't seen it yet. Hold yourself responsible. The English isn't really great in this quote, but hold yourself responsible to a higher standard than anyone else expects of you. Never excuse yourself, never pity yourself. Be a hard master to yourself and be easier on everyone else. You are the one you need to be a hard taskmaster to hold yourself to a high standard and have mercy on other people. Okay, not always easy. But it builds a great reputation, okay, that you are a person of high moral standards, that you have integrity, that you have honor, that you are ethical, you do things right. Oh, hey, Ro, how are you? Hi, Felicia, how you doing? Thanks, Ro. I believe that Henry Ward Beecher, if I'm not mistaken, is the brother of Harriet Beecher Stowe, famous author. So that's a family of high moral standards. Yeah, you can check them out. Google them. All right, so this is another quote. Ralph Waldo Emerson, famous poet. So what you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear a word you say. So how we act, and I'm directing this always to working, and not just that, I mean our personal lives too, but working in the law firm, you're going to build your reputation, or how you do your work, how you handle people on the phone, how you handle your coworkers. And I've had 2, 3, I don't know, maybe if I really counted them up, 5 very difficult coworkers. I mean, it was a challenge to not lose my cool, but I had a lot to lose if I lost my cool. So I had to find other ways to handle them. And handling it directly and talking to people instead of sweeping it under the rug, because it never gets swept under. If there's a bully in the place, you empower a bully by sweeping things under the rug. It's better to have a meeting of some sort to call them on it. Yeah. So, all of us have faced weird things like that, right? Whether it was in school with the bully or in the workplace. So the thing that when you're working in the law firm, and it's not just especially when you start out, but I'm going to take a drink here. It's also as you're working. I mean, you could have 20 years in and you make a mistake. It's best to own up to it. When you start trying to lie and hide the mistakes, then you're trashing your reputation. So it's better that you own up to it. And you say, look, I botched up, I made a mistake. And you want to try to have a solution before you go own up to it, like right away. You have to own up quickly and get to the nitty gritty as to how you're not going to do that in the future. Like, what's the solution to not make that mistake in the future? It could be that you didn't proofread like you should have. And it may be that you're going to use, and you didn't, but you're going to use some type of ruler and go down and proofread that way and really think about what you're proofing, okay? That's a typical mistake. There's a typo in something filed with the court, the wrong attachment to emotion. That's what happens for most everyone on here that are total, like you're new to the field. But the thing that when we're doing something that has attachments, we've got to make sure that it belongs to that case. Like, we're really looking at everything to make sure, okay. And sometimes we use a checklist that keeps us on the straight and narrow so that we cover everything and we can sleep at night. So, but what happens with that type of care towards your work is that you build a reputation. I don't care if no one else notices, you notice. You notice. And you know you're putting out top-notch work. That's the most important thing. You know you're working towards excellence. Doesn't matter if it would be nice, but it doesn't matter if you ever get a pat on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Job well done. Celebrate because you got an incredibly difficult thing done. Go celebrate with something that you like to eat or drink, to say, oh, yeah, that was good. I'm getting there. Your character will be tested by people in the law firm who want to gossip, by things that are done by other coworkers that are not right, by an attorney asking you to do something. Yes, this can happen. That is unethical, that you shouldn't be doing. So those are all things you need to know, because some attorneys will be unethical. Some attorneys will neglect their cases. And how will you not neglect the case? So, scary? Yeah, it can be. But when you are trying to learn and you're trying to walk that straight and narrow road, you are building one fantastic reputation. And it's a test of your character that you decide not to gossip. Listen, I decided not to gossip in a law firm after the first day. They all wanted to gossip about my attorney. And I didn't know what that was about. I just started. I had only been there about 4 hours. And that all started. They invited me to have lunch, and then it all broke loose. And I refused to participate because the next day they were asking me to come into the lunchroom, into the library where they were all eating lunch. And I said, oh, I got to run errands. Now, when you pull away from a pack like that, people get ticked off. And so I didn't go eat lunch with them, not one single time, unless it was the whole law firm eating lunch. That did not sit right, okay, with the group. And that's what happens with people who want to control. And so I just, had to go my own way and let them whirl around for a bit. And it took about 2 months, and then it was all done. So the attorneys took notice right away. I had 2 attorneys come up to me and said, thank you for not getting involved with that. The thing is, they should have put a stop to it. But let's say they weren't courageous enough. That makes no sense. But so you have to choose how you're going to build your reputation and your character. And that is by doing great work, but it's also by your behavior. Okay? So who are some people in your life, personal life, but also maybe in a job you worked in, that maybe you had a mentor elsewhere in a different kind of job, whose values you respect or you admire? Think of those people. Why did you admire them? Or it might be some celebrity that has high ethics and does things the right way. Why do you like them? What can you emulate? What can you be like that will serve you well in the legal field? That you take the high road all the time. That you adopt a professional way of being. That you never say that you don't know the answer. I mean, sometimes you have to, but you can say, I'll find the answer. I will try my best to find the answer. That type of thing. Instead of saying, I don't know, say, I will try my best to find the answer right away. Okay? Study the values that you admire. Who are those people? You're going to become, you are your own person, but there are some values we like to adopt. Practice those values that you respect. Now, I had that with the job in New Jersey in the marketing department of a corporation. My mentor, I was 19. What a great mentor. She just was very uplifting. I had a mentor in a veterinary clinic that I worked in who was like, you should go check into whatever it is I was thinking about, maybe going to college or something. I didn't know what I would do. I was just not sure that I could even get into college. I thought they were picky and choosy, and what I found out was as long as you can pay, you can probably get in. So, and I really didn't, it was all on me. Nobody was paying for it. So, who is your ideal when you think about that? The person you want to emulate certain things, pick and choose those things you want to be like. It will pay off. The caring about your work will pay off. People do take notice. You know, if you try to get the work done very efficiently, accurately, with no typos, and you have a care about your work, it will be noticed. Because people have experienced others who don't care about their work. And they've had enough of that. But when they see somebody who cares that deeply, they take notice. And by they, I mean the people over you. So, when you're given a compliment, I would write it down in a notebook. Yep, I've got my notebook in front of me. I don't want to move it because it may move the phone. But write those things down. When somebody is giving you a lot of compliments within a law firm or corporation and you're working in a legal department of a corporation, after you're in a job for about 6 months or so, you should ask if you could get just a letter of recommendation for your file. If you worked on a project and they just gave you tremendous kudos, like atta girls, atta boys, then you want to get some of that down in writing. Be very wise about that so you can have that for your file. You're not looking for another job. You can assure them you just want to have it for your file. Oh yeah. Make note of that. Okay. Let me see what else. When the attorneys see that your work is top notch, they start to really, really trust. Some attorneys don't want you to write letters, but then when they see that you are doing work that is so wonderful and top notch and without typos, and that you can put sentences together and all of that, they will ask you to write letters, write correspondence regularly, or you can ask to do it and give you a shot at it and let them see what they think. And they may give you more of that to do. So go after it, but show your stuff first, that you are capable. You're more and more capable of doing the work. In the beginning, you won't feel like it. The first 2 months, you'll feel very snail-like. You'll move like a snail. But afterwards, you start to pick up speed. But also with speed, you have to be accurate and get it done fast, right? But accuracy is important. So let me see what else I wanted to cover. Behaving this way in a consistent manner, that you're doing good work consistently, they will begin to trust. When they see that you're not going to be a gossip monger, they start to trust. They, meaning the powers that be, your employer. They see that you're towing the line and you're not going to play those games and it's not junior high anymore. They will trust you to be a mature adult. Do the right thing. When you botch up, you make a mistake, it is time to own up to it, confess it, and come prepared with a solution while you're confessing it. Don't hide filing alongside your desk. Oh, believe me, I've seen it all. And show the attorney that you really don't have it together, don't hide filing. I've seen it. So that's not a professional way to be. What you practice, what you dwell upon, and what you put out there will continue to grow, and they will, even if they don't rave about you to your face, they will rave about you to other people, to other attorneys. One attorney said that I heard was that if my paralegal left, I'd be doomed. So because the paralegals know the cases better than the attorneys do and know where everything is. And so that's what this person felt about the paralegal. Why don't they say something? I don't know. It's just not something that they learned in business. They would be wise if they did. They really would, because people appreciate hearing great feedback. I do. Don't you? So I wish they did that more, but as long as I know I'm doing a great job, sometime in the past I have asked, did I do this the way you wanted to? Was it okay? And then they'll say, oh, that was fantastic. Their minds are off somewhere else, but they should say those things, those positive, give you positive feedback, right? Even if you think you're already there, I would venture to say there are places for improvement. There are always places or spaces for improvement within yourself, in the workplace or personally. I know there are with me. I'm always checking myself, so think about those things today. Where can you improve yourself? In the past, I asked, how's your Microsoft Word? Any of those areas, technically, of course, you have to improve. But what about your own personal way of being? And I won't lie, I got off on gossip in the past. And then I thought, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. I've been hurt by people gossiping about me, that's for sure. And I don't want that to be prevalent in the place where I work and coming from me. So what is it that you need to change, that you need to strive to improve? Okay, so that's the challenge today, is remember that some of the things we might not have thought about will be valued. And you're building your reputation at every single step. So what will you do to build a rock solid, strong reputation in a law firm or a government agency, whether you want to work at the courthouse, wherever it is? How will you build that and stay out of the fray? Because the fray will be there. And so you have to think ahead of time, how can I do it where it's not demeaning to other people, but that, going out to lunch or eating together knocks down a lot of walls, and that builds a camaraderie. Remember that I couldn't keep going into that room because of what they were saying about my attorney, and I had just started the job, and I honestly needed this job so desperately, and who doesn't? But that I couldn't put that job out there to maybe lose it. So I didn't have a choice, and I'm glad I didn't. Okay, so take the high road and think about those places where you need to tweak it a bit, and be aware that these things happen even in those places where you'll be employed as a paralegal. Okay. All right. So have a great one. Thanks for being here, Ro, Felicia, everybody who was here during the live, and anybody watching on replay. Don't forget to check out the website if you haven't gotten the 19 alternative paralegal careers list or the free chapter of my book. Go to paralegalcoffeetalk.com and you'll see that right up at the top. And that will allow you to sign up when you click on the link within those for the Paralegal Hub, Subscriber Hub, where there are 2 more videos going in, one this week and one next week, finishing up a series of 7 videos. So there's a lot in there and more to come. So have a great one, everybody, and I'll talk to you in the next live tomorrow. Bye.